So then let's move on to the people that think that, you know what, I just don't have enough assets to have an estate plan. You know, all I have is my bank account or my 401k and my car, and maybe I rent, or maybe I have a house and I have a mortgage. You know, it's not wealthy, not wealthy. Why would I need an estate plan? Well, that's where the big misconception comes in, because when people are thinking about, you know, estate planning, they typically think, well, I don't want to pay unnecessary estate taxes, or I don't want the state to get my estate. So let me help correct some misconceptions about this. We'll talk about when the state actually gets your assets, very uncommon. And if you are of the level of assets where you're going to be paying an estate tax, yes, you need an estate plan. In Washington, we have an estate tax credit exclusion amount of $2.193 million. Frankly, if you've got over $2 million, you're probably realizing you need an estate plan. If you are at the, you don't live in Washington, but you live in Idaho, Idaho doesn't have an estate tax, so you're only concerned about the federal estate tax level, which is being raised in 2023 to $12,920,000. If so, yes, you definitely have estate planning in place, because you do have a lot of money and you don't want to pay any unnecessary taxes. But let's talk about the people that don't have 2 million. Maybe all you have is 20,000. Maybe you have 200,000. Maybe you have somewhere in between. Is that enough for an estate plan to make sure your assets go where you want them to go? Well, I would argue it does. Even if you are just a younger person and all you have is 20,000, wouldn't you want to say, hey, I want my $20,000 bank account to pay on death to whomever? Or maybe if you have, what is that, 200,000, don't you want to make sure that it goes where you want it to go and that you protect it if there's a way to protect it? I think when people say my estate isn't big enough to have an estate plan, what they're thinking about is, as they see themselves, they don't see that their assets are that complicated or their life is that complicated. And it's kind of a paradox in that if you don't do an estate plan, even if you're in that situation, well, there's no plan in place that you put in place. But what's going to happen is it's going to get way more complicated upon your death. We've already talked about what happens if you don't have an estate plan and you become disabled, unable to manage your affairs. The state's going to take over for you. Not a good result.